All right, welcome back to another episode of Roundball. It is myself, Dukes, and Hunter Dickinson today. J-Bo is at a shoot around because he's still in the G League. But today, I want to talk to everybody about something. Dukes, you ever heard about Rocket Money?
No, can you tell me about it?
Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Let me tell you something, Dukes. My brother just used Rocket Money and he realized that he was paying about $20 to $30 a year for FYE. I don't even know what FYE is. I think that's like a store in the mall.
That's a store at Roosevelt Field Mall. Yeah,
Yes.
FYE. Yeah.
Yes, he had no idea he spent $30 on FYE, but he used Rocket Money, and it shows you, listen, you don't need this. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, like my brother, like that streaming service you bought to just watch one show on, or that free trial that you ever used. You know what? I'm gonna use Rocket Money because I fucking have Planet Fitness still on mine. I haven't been to Planet Fitness since I was in high school.
Yeah, and college basketball fans out there that could use Rocket Money because with Flow Hoops, people forget in July that college hoops is going on. Good
That's
reminder
true.
to cancel your subscription.
That is true. So Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want. Over 3 million have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. That's a lot of money. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/roundball. That's rocketmoney.com/roundball. rocketmoney.com/roundball. All right, boys, let's get into some fucking college basketball, huh? Hunter, good to have you back.
Good to be back, boys.
First thing, Dukes, have you noticed anything different about Hunter?
Yeah, he looks naked.
I
New,
I
new
don't
boy,
even know who the fuck this guy is, bro. Everyone
freshman.
watch on YouTube so you can know what we're talking about, but the man doesn't have a beard anymore. I haven't seen my chin since maybe 10 years. How does it feel to see your chin?
It is nice. I do this about once a year, maybe twice a year.
What?
It's usually once a year, just to restart, fresh. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you just you gotta let the face breathe a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. So let me ask you straight up. You lost to UNC, you just shaved off your beard?
No, I actually did this 2 days ago, so
So
it
you
wasn't.
just like that's because you have a nice beard. That's crazy to just wipe it all off.
I was thinking about doing it after the Lipscomb game, or after the Minnesota game. I was thinking about doing it. I just forgot about it, and then I remembered when I was
He
home.
forgot to shave his beard off.
I got a lot of things on my mind. So, when I was thinking about it, I was at home and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to shave. I might as well do it now might as well do it now while um, I got some time before Central Michigan and then before the Big Ten play starts.
I
But
actually
by
like
by the Michigan State game, I should have a good little solid thing going.
yeah, you have a big month coming up. Big month coming up. But first I want to rehash on something because I gotta stick up for my guy. Champ, I want to see if you could even would you be able to bring up the play that everyone keeps talking about, Hunter? Because
Oh yeah.
I can get it.
we need to tell everybody that shut the fuck up. He's not a scumbag. He didn't do anything wrong here.
Exactly.
And I'll say it myself. Anyone touches your leg when you're looking at a ref, not knowing what's going on, you're gonna do a shimmy off. You didn't line up for a 40-yard field goal and try and kick them. Like that's just a fact. So I want to, if you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna pull up the video. Everyone kept talking about Hunter being a scumbag when I would be very honest with you. I would if I was like, dude, that was a little fucked up. Because I didn't see it right away. I like was I someone sent it to me, and I was like, that's what everyone's up in arms about. There's so many. I mean, last night Franz Wagner got fucking whacked in the
Oh,
back of the
Mo,
head with an
Mo
elbow.
Wagner. Mo
Oh,
Wagner.
Wagner, same. I can't. There's
No,
too.
Mo is the crazy one. Franz is the relaxed one.
So Mo gets going.
Yeah. Mo tried to like Mo's been in heated arguments with like Luca, I think Giannis, with a couple of guys.
I love that though, especially. And is Mo the better one or the Franz?
Franz plays more, but Mo is very good. Mo's so underrated.
But
Like
Franz is the one who's
Franz was the one that got picked ninth and stuff like that.
yeah. Dukes, how we doing?
Dude, it's just like not that you can't get the full clip, and I don't want to do my boy dirty.
No, well, because ESPN showed the partial clip of me trying to stand over him and then accidentally kicking him.
Yes. Like there's a clip out there that I was able to find.
And
like,
Wright, and Wright for trying to defend me. He posted the full clip.
Who?
When Ant Wright on Twitter.
Yeah.
Of him grabbing my knee. And I'm like, get off me. And then I went to stand over him. And then in the process,
sometimes I've realized sometimes when I do it, it's everyone's like stop sucking his dick. So I didn't do it that time. I want other people to see it, but I'm gonna keep sucking your dick. I don't even care.
No, but it was just so stupid because they're like Hunter was standing over him. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I was
He was on the ground. Yeah, you weren't going over him like calling him little boy or anything. You were talking to. What were you saying to the ref?
I was saying to the ref, like I got the ball, like I got the ball first. I didn't think it was a foul.
All right, wait, here we go. All right, so he grabs. That's Caleb Love, right?
Yeah.
Caleb Love, you're talking to the ref. He grabs your knee, literally grabs the knee. You can see that perfectly right there. All right, and then now where is the little shimmy, Dukes?
It's coming. It should be coming.
It's not. I gotta do more research.
Well, that's all you needed to see. That was what we're both.
Because I mean, at this point, if you don't know what we're talking about, the rest of the scuffle, then I don't know why you're listening to this podcast in December. Like you must have love college hoops if you're listening to this podcast right now, right?
Facts.
And everyone's seen the scuffle probably by now.
I don't know how you call a technical, like they just call it a technical foul on both of us just because like there was like a little bit of a scuffle. Like it wasn't even anything. I don't know how, like, but it didn't surprise me that. It didn't surprise me.
I want you to take us. So show the video one more time.
Yeah, sure.
I want you. We'll watch the video. Okay, so I want you to take us through the whole thing real fast.
So he drives down. I feel like I got a piece of the ball, and then his body landed into me. So like I didn't think it was a foul, but they called a foul. I was like, I went to the ref. I'm like, ref, like there's no way that's I got the ball first, and so like I'm not standing over him, but I'm pretty close to him. My momentum has stopped. He goes to grab my knee, or like to push my knee, like just being a little extra, like just push my knee back. So then I feel like your first reaction when somebody pushes your knee in is to push it out, and so like I wiggled, like you said, wiggled a little bit, and then like I went to stand over him then because it's like I can just push my knee like that. And then in the process of me walking like a little extra close to him is when my foot hit him. It wasn't like people were acting like I like fully wound up and kicked him. There we go. Oh, that's all you're gonna show more. Yeah, but it didn't surprise me that referee crew called that technical foul.
All right, so the scuffle's funny. I mean, all right. Well, let's one thing. You just said I walked extra close to him. That's a fucking lie. You obviously, I'm not saying what you did is wrong. Someone touches your knee, it's like a fucking bug is on you and you shimmy it off. Like you just like get off me.
Yes.
And then I went to walk a little closer to him and you gave a little shove with your foot, but you didn't like kick him.
Yeah, no, I was walking over to stand over him at that point. After he grabbed my knee, yes, I wanted to stand over.
Let me see it again, Dukes.
Yeah, this wasn't a good video.
But it's fine. It looked worse from back there. So shout out the freshman McDaniel, the getting in there.
Yeah, good deal.
I mean, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit to grab someone's knee. You cannot do that.
It's
But
kind
you,
of, I feel like there's like an unwritten code where you don't go like, you don't touch anyone's legs or just like you don't try
nobody's
to
gonna
like,
talk about that, dude. 'Cause nobody's gonna talk about that though. Nobody's gonna bring that up.
No, because they just because one, he didn't have to touch you. You were looking at the ref, talking to
I
him.
was not
If
gonna
you
fall over him.
Let me
My
tell you
momentum
something.
was out.
If you were talking down to him while he was on the floor and saying shit, and then he hits your leg, I would have more on his side because that means you were probably talking shit. But you were just talking to the ref, not paying attention to him, and he grabbed your knee. It wasn't like a push; it was a grab, and then you like, "What the fuck?" and just put your knee off. I think that's
Yeah.
completely fine.
people
But
also are like going to be like, oh, you guys just suck off. Like the last episode, I was saying like I couldn't believe that people on Twitter were trying to call you a scumbag because like in real time, I saw him touch your knee, and I was like, it's a reaction just to like kind of just like react back with what he's touching. Like if he touched your arm, you're gonna move your arm. If he's touching your leg, you're gonna move your leg. So I didn't. I
100%.
was so confused when Twitter was going at you. But like, if you were being a scumbag and we thought you were wrong, we would tell you that we thought you were being a scumbag because it's excellent content for us.
Yeah,
Like,
I almost
it's way
wish
easier for us to call
I
you a
almost
scumbag
wish you
and
stepped
shit
on
on
his
you.
chest
Yeah,
because then I'd be like, "Oh my god, we have the biggest villain in the world, and people are going to listen to this podcast." But
yeah.
I'm just calling it how it is. What you did, you didn't fucking do anything wrong. It's just like it was the
yeah, but
most whatever technical foul ever.
yeah, but it was just the
You got
narrative.
two on that, right?
I got the foul and the technical, so that's why I
Yes.
had to. But yeah,
Yes.
no, that refereeing crew. I don't want to
I said that was
interlock.
the turning point.
I don't want to interlock my inner Jordan, but I have my opinions about them.
When he said
Oh
inner Jordan, I
man,
thought you were talking about Michael Jordan. I was like, where's he
No,
going
no,
with
no.
this?
Jordan Bohannon. My inner Jordan Bohannon. Like obviously we lost the game, but
Yo, did you see in the scuffle? I'm sure you did when when Jawan got in the mix.
in
Jawan,
that
yeah, the
oh,
Jawan
no, I didn't see that. I didn't.
ran into the middle of it to break it up, and I was like, hands down, Jawan, hands down.
that's his boy though. You know who
Yeah,
your
that's his
boys
boy.
are.
Yeah,
You know who your boys are when you're getting in a little scuffle.
That's what I'm saying. Doug is a real one, man. He was in
Doug's
there.
a real one. He got in there, and he's a small guy. Like he's not the biggest guy ever, and he walked in there like there was nothing stopping him. So what? That was a turning point in the game. A lot of it
Yeah.
was a turning point in the game. But it's just annoying how that little thing, people calling you a scumbag. Let me tell you something though. I enjoy people kind of thinking you're like the biggest villain in the college basketball because it's good for us.
Well, I mean, I do hate it when people say I'm like I can understand being a villain and people hating me, but I don't like being called a dirty player because then it's like you do anything like and then people are just gonna jump to conclusions like the elbow versus Virginia. Like I feel like people are calling me a dirty player for that when like I'm just trying to make a move and the guy is like right in my like I did look a little bit bad, but like it's not like I'm trying to like obviously I'm going like this. I didn't
Yeah.
go like this to like try
No,
to
I know what you mean. A villain is different where it's like you against the fans and then instead of like people thinking that you're trying to hurt people.
yeah, like, I'm not like tripping people like
Hey, hey,
like,
hey.
like but yeah, no, so but I
Did you
mean,
see him last night? He got into it
yeah,
with Rosen.
yeah, I saw that. But you know, it's I don't know. I don't think I'm a dirty player. I never try to injure somebody on the court or you know try to do anything like that. But I did appreciate. I mean, I not appreciate. I did feel good about uniting a couple fan bases. I feel like North Carolina fans, Michigan State fans, Illinois fans all came together as one that night to really just to really come together, and that was a special moment for me to bring all those fans together. They let me know about it in the comment section and my DMs. I did get killed after that game. I will say, UNC fans, I do. They got some good fans over there. They got some. They
I
got
will
some.
say a lot of people were like, "Oh, Baycott, like dummy, like you didn't really cover, like you were also in foul trouble a lot." Like
Fan. Like if you actually watch the game and don't
you look
look
in box score, it looks like
literally, that's
oh
exactly what I said the last podcast, right, Marty? Where I
yeah,
was like, if you look at the box score, like it wasn't real. It doesn't tell the full story.
how
After
many
the
points. Go ahead, Dukes.
after you got the common foul tech and you were in foul trouble, you're back. Like nothing against him, but you could see that Baycott when your backup center came in, Baycott was like, "Feed me right now." Like he was like, I'm gonna start like being more aggressive, going to the rim. Like I thought you played very well up until you got those 2 fouls. Like, because then you just get knocked off your rhythm.
Yeah,
That
I would
block you
love-
had was sick. That chase down block.
the chase down
Chase
block.
down block. I was like,
What are we
dude,
talking about the
That's
chase
on the
down?
highlight reel for sure because he had a step on me too, and so that's on the
yo,
highlight.
wheels, brother. You got wheels.
I was really kicking it. There's nothing worse though. As a player, there's nothing worse than getting a chase down block like that, like wasting all your energy, not wasting, but exerting all your energy to do that, and then blocking the shot and just turning around and seeing the player from the other team like run down there, catch it, and lay it up. That's the worst feeling in the world. I was so happy to see them miss the next shot and us get the rebound because then it just made it feel like all that effort was worth it. So, yeah, that is a highlight of my career for sure. But to go back to what Dukes was saying, yeah, I would like for people to look at the game and see how many points were actually off of me guarding him in the post one-on-one and not when I was out or me on a ball screen. Because common fans won't realize, like, in a ball screen coverage, there's more than just the point guard and the big man in the ball screen. There's the other 3 players are involved in it too. And so they just see big man score off ball screen and instantly think that it's the other big man's fault, which is not true in every case. So I would just like people to look back at the game. Like, obviously they won and he had 26, so it's not like I can say it was an even matchup. Obviously he won the matchup, but it wasn't like it's further than the box score showed.
It wasn't cut and dry. It wasn't cut and dry. Baycott beat.
Yeah, it wasn't like all 26 were just in the post just working me.
No, and it's just that because you had 9 and people are just like, it's just easy to, as a fan, I'm telling you how I would look at it. I understand what they mean. It's just like, oh yeah, 28 points to 9, and fuck, like you got smoked. That's just how people look at it. It's not true.
I will say the funniest thing that I think I've ever encountered with a DM after a game happened after the UNC game. Somebody Venmo'd me a cent to talk about my box score, my stat line. It was pretty fun. They might have thought that like I was gonna get mad at that. I was pretty thankful for that. That gave me a good little laugh.
Did Baycott say anything about the podcast? Anyone say anything?
No, nobody said anything about the podcast.
Pieces of shit.
Well,
You're thinking about us all the time, Dukes.
well, it's like I hate when people are like, he needs to get in the gym and get off the pod. I'm like, yo, this podcast literally is like 3 hours a week.
Yeah, it's also scheduled around your schedule when you're just sitting, like when you're just chilling.
Yeah, like it's literally 3 hours of the week.
People will always say that though. Like that's just an easy thing to like, oh, shut up, like just worry about basketball. This podcast is not like something that will.
Dude,
deter
fucking other
you
college
away.
basketball players are playing fucking Modern Warfare right now. Like,
Yeah.
they're all doing their own fucking shit. Like, it's insane.
There is also another fucking podcaster in college basketball that no one knows about their podcast, but Drew Timmy is out there talking about it. It's like, oh, it's not talked about enough that I'm a winner and I will just win.
He says that?
What?
He says that?
I want you I'm actually going to bring it up because I literally was so mad when I watched it because I'm like, this guy really is something else. He evaluated himself. Listen,
I'd like to meet Drew Timmy and hang out with him for a minute.
I want him to come on the podcast. I think
Is
we
this
have
on Twitter?
No, I'm going to play it, right? It's on Instagram, I know.
All right.
I'm going to play it right now. All right, ready? Listen.
I evaluate myself. Something that like I think gets overlooked is like I just win. Like I just know how to play the game right. I play the game right, and in the teams that I've been on, like we've won. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that like I do think gets overlooked a lot, just because I think even as a program we're pretty over scrutinized. I would say just in the world.
Man, talk that man, because somebody just tweeted it the other day about like the record at Gonzaga is like what 92-7 or something. Like that's a stupid number, man. Like that's crazy. Like yeah. So I stamped that.
Talk that shit, man.
Talk that shit, man. I mean, first of all, You're 92-11 because all your 11 losses come in. You just beat Pacific every game. I don't know how many times you can say you can just be a winner. Shut the fuck up.
No, I agree with him in saying like, but that was a pitch for like NBA, like that was an NBA pitch, and that's something that I like. I do the same pitch where it's like, what can you bring to a team? Like every team you are like winning culture is something that is not really looked at a lot and something that's super underrated. Like a winning culture, like just a player that knows how to win, a player that's been around winning can really influence a team. And so I see where he's going with that. But then again, yes, Marty, you're correct. He plays Pacific, Santa Clara,
Yeah.
LMU. Like my brother played at LMU, so I know that league.
It's just a fact that that team is good. That no matter what, your team is good. Like Gonzaga has been very good. We all know that. No one's shaming that. But to say you're a winner, you didn't have to play a gauntlet every year.
There's a stat going in. I'll stick up because you guys know I fucking love Gonzaga.
I know.
I love Gonzaga. Against Power 5 teams, the best winning percentage in college basketball since 2016 is Gonzaga.
Against Power 5 teams?
Yes. Now
Yeah,
that
'cause
might
they
have changed because
not
this year.
at the beginning of the year.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like imagine them having to play Purdue twice in January and February.
And then having to play in
He went out.
between that, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Illinois.
And then at Indiana. And then or at Alabama, at
Like they're
Arkansas.
gonna have 10 losses. Like they're gonna have 10 losses every year.
I truly don't know. I truly don't know if that's true.
Dukes, if you took any team that's regularly in the top 10 every year, so like what like a Houston, if you took a Houston every year and put them in the WCC, they would do exactly what Gonzaga does every year.
I agree with Houston.
That's
No,
facts.
Gonzaga is a very good team every year that's in a bad conference. Like I'm not trying to say they're a bad team. They are a good team every year. They're a really good team every year. But they're just in a really bad conference, so it emphasizes how good they are in that conference.
I'll say this.
You're saying that I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Like you win your conference every year because again, any Power 5 even Houston would win that conference pretty easily every single time.
Do you think they get rings for winning their conference?
No, I don't think they hang banners for that shit anymore. I mean, probably a banner.
Not.
Yeah, they're probably like just. I think that. So, maybe not the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten. I don't know. Like again, I think that maybe they wouldn't win the Big Ten every year, but I think they make a run in the tournament every year. Going off that, I think if they were in the Pac-12, they would be where like I think Arizona's like kind of similar-ish because especially like the Tommy Lloyd style of play to Gonzaga. Like I think they'd have like 2 to 3 losses a year in the Big 12 in the Pac-12.
In the Pac-12,
yeah, I agree with that. I don't think
Pac-12's fine though.
Yeah, they would still dominate in the Pac-12, like which is a power conference.
That's completely fine. If you put them in a Big 12, SEC, Big 10, they wouldn't. I'm not saying they'd struggle. They'd probably still be top 3, top 4.
Nobody's saying they'd be bad.
Yeah, I think they'd finish in a top 4 seed entering the NCAA tournament, any conference they're in.
Yeah, I could see that. I just don't think there'll always be a 1.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think they would have a guaranteed 1 every year. Like this year, they're going to get a 1 seed.
Do you think so?
They're going to probably.
They're not losing in that conference.
They
maybe San Francisco.
They have at most 1 loss on their schedule.
St. Mary's is pretty good.
But like again, they're a pretty good school, but it's like they have to have a really good game to beat them.
BYU isn't good.
BYU is not good, but St. Mary's defense is elite.
San Francisco did smoke Arizona State, but
yeah, they're on the up.
Yeah,
it's like 3 years in a row. I mean, I know they lost Golden, but that's
Hunter's got to get out of here soon because he got a game against Central Michigan. I'm not even going to ask you a prediction. Just if you don't win, just hang it up.
Yeah, no, that the points was my final prediction. I can't afford the backlash from that anymore.
Once you get a couple wins, you can start doing it again.
Can I say something really quick talking about Central Michigan? It is insane how bad Eastern Michigan became.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they played their hearts out for
No,
a
that
second.
was the best game they've played because I have watched some Eastern Michigan games. So I was like, oh wow, this team's actually been pretty good because they did shoot the light. I mean, Amoni Bates played
Amazing.
unbelievable as well, but they became real bad.
Yeah, no, it was just a trap game for us. Like we knew they were going to play really good because Amani's first game at home in the Pistons arena. Like we knew it was just going to be a crazy game, but just thankful we got a win out of that one.
The
Yeah,
good
he's
thing
not
for
even,
you
like,
guys,
bad.
you don't have any bad losses. You got no bad losses. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
You won the games you had to win. You didn't win. You're just okay right now. So you're going into conference also 1-0, which helps. Before you get out of here, UConn still impressive. I thought that was gonna be kind of a trap-ish game for them yesterday. Playing Villanova, I thought Villanova was going to come out a little better, but UConn just keeps dominating. That was their first win under just in single digits, and it was what, 8?
Yeah.
UConn reminds me a lot of my freshman year team, where they just got a lot of pieces. They got a
They
lot
have
of
a
pieces, and they're
ton.
playing really well
I
right
think
now.
that's a good take. I like that take a lot.
They have a ton. I love UConn. I am bullish over UConn.
We're gonna have to get somebody. I'm gonna work on getting somebody on the pod from them.
Yeah, we should definitely try. I could reach out to Hurley too. That he's amazing. I'm going to be completely honest. I had no idea New Mexico was undefeated and ranked until today. I'm transparent.
I don't look at the top 25 too much, especially since we're not in there. But yeah, no, I had no idea.
I think it's a stupid. I hate the top 25, but New Mexico, when they're good at basketball, I think it's sick. I think the Pit is one of the toughest places to play, and when they fill that place out, it's an awesome environment. So I like it for the brand.
Me and Dukes will finish the rest, but Hunter, I want to get your take. So you play Eastern Michigan tonight.
Central.
Central Michigan. Sure. I hope you win. You better win. But we're gonna record Sunday night, and Sunday night you play Michigan. You play Maryland.
Yep.
That's obviously a game that you kind of circle on your calendar sometimes. Not anymore, really. I know you don't really care that much anymore, but it's where you're from. You went to school there, high school. How do you feel about Maryland? I know and this is not looking ahead. Like, this is me simply asking because we don't record till Sunday.
Yeah. People are going to be like, "Oh, he's looking ahead. He doesn't care about Central."
No, I will make sure I said I'm asking because that's honestly, fans care more about the Maryland game than Central.
I mean, take away Maryland being my hometown and all that. We need that game. Like we need a quality win on our resume, and to start off Big Ten play 2-0 would be huge for us. But then in that other part, like playing your hometown team definitely like is extra motivating. Like you said, it's not as motivating as it used to be because like I truly do like Kevin Willard, and it's like, I do love how Maryland fans are gonna be like, Hunter, Maryland lives rent free in Hunter's mind, like. But then they just don't realize like Marty literally asked me a question to talk about.
Yeah.
But that's exactly how Twitter is going to take it. But I mean, I do like Kevin Willard a lot. He's a really good coach, and he said some nice things to me after we played Seton Hall when he was coaching Seton Hall. So I do respect him a lot. It's going to be a little bit weird having him coach there instead of the other guy. So, but I mean, like, it is still going to be a motivating game for me to win against my hometown team.
January is a ginormous month for Michigan basketball. It is a favorable kind of schedule of the Big Ten. Like, you don't go into a gauntlet right away. Like, I mean, the thing is, Penn State's been playing well. You play them the second. You play Maryland, Penn State, Northwestern, Michigan State. Like, those 4 games right there they're winnable for sure.
It's a loser leave town month for us.
Yes.
In terms of part of my take. After this month, we're going to know if we're a legit team, if we're a tournament team, or if we're going to pack it up for the season.
How's the vibe been since the UNC loss and like you guys haven't played for a little bit?
after the game, we were pretty. It was pretty down, like pretty just devastated because it just like loss after loss is just like us giving the game away, and so it was pretty devastating. But now I was just trying to tell the guys like, yo, it's a brand new season. Like all we got to do is go 1-0 in this game, and then 1-0 in the next game. You just got to go 1-0. Keep that mindset. Win the next game in front of you. That's all you can do, and we still have a chance to turn the season around. Like all those games before, minus the Minnesota game, don't matter in retrospect. Those are just seeding games for the tournament. All these games now matter the most, and so for us, just trying to go 1-0. I know it's going to sound boring, cliche, but that's honestly the perfect and best mindset that you can have right now.
No,
Dude, I think you guys look a lot better. I really thought you guys
I do.
didn't look very good in the beginning of the year. And I was saying in the last episode when you weren't on, I was like, I think that like even in the UNC game, I would love to see that game played again if you weren't in foul trouble. Because I seriously thought you guys looked a lot better. The spacing was there, getting to the rim. I thought you guys looked like a way better team.
Kobe looked really good. Jets obviously been playing really well, but I think McDaniel, when he gets more comfortable, like you just threw him in to start, like he's got to get some time, and
started like 4 games, not even maybe 3,
and that's a huge game to start, like against UNC. Like once he gets comfortable and gets his role in the offense, I think if Kobe plays like that as like your third scorer, third option, kind of, that's going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I think the thing that has me a lot more glass half full kind of for the season was I think from right now this team and then last year's team, I think this team is a lot better than last year's team in just the sense of like I think we're just more skilled and the pieces fit better. And so in that retrospect, like I think we have a really good shot because it's just like I said earlier to Marty, like if you take away 10 points and 10 points go differently in 3 games, like 10 points total in 3 games, we're sitting with only 1 loss and a top 10 team, and everybody's talking about it. It's like the season could be so much differently if just 10 or so points went the other way. And so like we're fine. We just need to clean up some things defensively. We just have mental mistakes. It's not lack of skill. It's all mental mistakes. So that's probably why it's so frustrating because it's like we know we're good. We just make mental mistakes that are fixable and so
you'd rather be making these mistakes now than
exactly
January, February, and March.
Then March 20th.
All right, Hunter. Well, go work out and good luck tonight.
All right, boys. See y'all.
Yeah, Hunter.
All right, Dukes. We'll finish up. We won't be long. Just go through it real quick. SEC. We talked to at the end of the episode. We will have the Bruce Pearl interview for you guys. We talked about it a little bit there, but the SEC is the best conference.
We sure about this?
I am. I really adding Missouri and Mississippi State as teams to talk about in the SEC, I think rounds them out to be the best.
Missouri and who'd you say?
Mississippi State.
I mean, even LSU is sneaky 12-1.
And LSU just
beat Arkansas.
Nick Smith didn't play, but still, like, I just think they're deeper than, like, because obviously it was Tennessee, Alabama was like, and Kentucky are always 3, then adding Arkansas, but then adding Missouri, LSU, Auburn, and Mississippi State. That's deep right there.
I'm still gonna stick to my Big 12 thing. I still think the Big 12 is the best conference. Top
and
to bottom.
That's not like a crazy thing either. Like
they don't have. I think every single team in that conference might be a top 50 team in the country.
I think West Virginia is the most underrated team right now.
Dude, good for fucking Huggy. I mean, he's just like, getting up there with age. People think that he might be taking the gas off the pedal to go and adapt and get people in the transfer portal and do what he's doing. I mean, I've said it a couple episodes ago. They are my sneaky pick to win the Big 12. I think they're just going to sneak up on people.
No, yeah, I love them. I like them a lot. They kind of have that style back of the Press Virginia, the just like gritty team.
Yeah, Toussaint, like at Iowa, like it's Jordan's teammate and stuff. So like Jordan would probably like no, but like I never really thought that he fit the Iowa play style where Iowa loves offense, hates defense, like score a lot of points, give up a lot of points, because that's like kind of we know Iowa does that. But yeah, I think that he fits into the West Virginia culture so well. Huggy likes New York City guys. He's from New York City, so like I fucking love West Virginia. I love Huggy.
No, I do too, and I think that the Big 12 definitely is probably it could be argued the best conference or not. But I want to shout out Matt McMahon of LSU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you have to. LSU was in shambles last year. That you lose
everybody.
10 players.
No scholarship players.
Head coach booted for all his sanctions and everything. Will Wade. And then all of a sudden you come back and get all these transfers and recruits, and like that is very hard to do, to be like, listen, this LSU is like a team where it was a joke last year. Like, oh, it's like walk-on's going to have to play. Like, who's going to even be on the team? They're going to have enough to field, even though they'll put people on the court. And then all of a sudden, they just beat Arkansas, which is a huge win, and they're 12-1. And they play their next game against Kentucky. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think I mean, he basically just took some Murray State players. Adam Miller's not even playing the Illinois transfer.
Yeah,
he's not even playing his best ball right now. I saw some stat that like in his last 2 games, he's shooting 20% from the field and like 15% from 3-point land. So even when he gets going, they're going to be an even more dangerous team. But here's the thing that I know you hate Ken Pom, but I was just curious because I haven't seen. I was like, wow, like LSU is, because I usually look at like the top 50-ish to try to see like where teams are at or like what they're thinking, because you can kind of get a good idea regardless of what your opinion might be. You can get a general idea of how good a team might be. And guess where LSU is?
80?
76.
Wow.
12-1, 76, which like I started looking into it. Like,
first good win?
Yes, that's why. Like they have like Wake Forest, like, and like
they lost to Kansas State.
Yeah, they played some close-ish games, but I'm sure like once they start getting to SEC play, they'll summit a little bit. But like, yeah, their non-conference schedule wasn't tough.
But bro, they beat Kansas City by 11, Arkansas State by 9, New Orleans was whatever, Illinois State was by like 16, but then like
they haven't played anybody.
Yeah, they beat Wofford by 3, they beat UT Arlington by 4. Wake Forest by 2, Winthrop by 7, ETSU by 4. Like, but again, that's just wins. Like, whatever.
It's just wins. It's like Providence last year just kept winning.
Yeah, so that's what I said to Coach Pearl. I was like, people are calling Auburn lucky this year now.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I see what their luck? Should we look at the luck?
Yeah, look what their luck is. Because they're 11-2, ranked to number 20. Like, that's kind of how Providence was getting.
They think that so Ken Pom has them as the 164th luckiest team.
Okay.
That's I mean, like, yeah, so like I have seen the luck thing with Auburn, but like I think Auburn's one of those programs at this point where they'll always be fine.
Yeah,
they've established
100%.
themselves.
But like what I say about the SEC, like LSU's schedule, like they just played Arkansas, next game Kentucky, then it's Texas A&M. Like Texas A&M has also been very disappointing this year because everyone's like they should have got in last year or whatever, and then they just been disappointed. Then they play Florida. Then it's Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas Tech. That's obviously not big. That's a Big 12 SEC challenge, but that's a gauntlet right there.
Yep.
I don't want to go into like all these games because not much has happened. I just wanted to put Hunter on, talk just a little about college basketball. Champa, what did I miss this or something? Did Little Rock's court got destroyed by a water pipe?
Yeah, one of the because it's like wicked cold there right now, so one of the pipes like in the building burst, and like they had to just like completely rip up the floor, and like they had to move their game and stuff.
Oh, that's brutal. That's going to take a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, dude, this man has never been on a plane before.
Tampa?
Yeah, he's never been on a plane.
Brother, let's get you on a plane.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
I
Where do you want
will
to go?
say, I am
Want to go to Dayton?
really
Yeah.
thinking this is also close to you, Champa, so I won't take you on a plane. And I'm going to try and we got to get you up to HQ at some point. I don't know how.
I can like drive there. I don't mind doing that.
But I'm still going to try and work on it. The chances are probably low, but I really want to go to next Wednesday, UConn at Providence.
All right, deal.
I want to go, and we might all have to all shack up together in one hotel room.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's
us
fine.
three.
I'll take
I'm gonna reach out to Providence and then see if we can go. But just do it literally like go Tuesday, maybe Wednesday morning early, and we just do it in a day.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm down.
I love Providence. You know, I grew up a Providence fan.
Really?
Yeah, people don't know that. I grew up a Providence Dayton fan, so I always root for Providence. I love the dunk. No longer called the dunk, so RIP to the dunk. But
they have one of the best home courts.
yeah, for sure, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Last thing before we go, Kentucky's in shambles. They got
Shambles.
blown out by Missouri. Blown out. Wasn't close at all the entire time. Sheboy, again, like I told everybody, when I say like this team, you can never count them out because they have such young talent. And all I keep hearing about is their team next year. Have you heard all those people they have next year?
Yeah, because Cal's back. Cal got challenged in recruiting, and he fucking ate.
Yeah, I heard they have like every player next year.
Dude, I gotta say, there's one person on Kentucky that I'm legitimately in love with. It's Cason Wallace. I don't know what it is about him, but he has a crazy stat where it's like he shoots like 45% from three, like 60% from the free throw line, and like 45% from the field. It's just like it's something so ridiculous. I gotta find out the exact
electric player.
Great defender, but he's someone I always like to watch on Kentucky. But yeah, they're in shambles right now.
Yeah, they're in shambles. But that's the thing. Like, I'll never count them out, but they are one of the most disappointing teams happening right now. Where it's like,
yeah, I agree. I sneaky think they'll be back by the end of the year. We'll be like, oh,
yeah, that's the
top
thing. Like,
10.
it's just when these teams like a Duke or a Kentucky or these guys that have all these young talent, it takes them. Coach Pearl said it too. Like, it takes these. They don't even know their rotation still. He's literally like, I don't even know what my team is right now. We're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, it makes a lot of sense too. I mean,
yeah. So that's a show. I just want to do a quick little show. We'll be back Monday for you guys after Hunter's game on Sunday. We're going to record. Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else, Dukes?
I'll end it with this. I think that Dayton might be back, like all the way back. I've just talked myself into it. I think that we might have one loss in conference play. I don't know if Dayton goes undefeated in the A-10. Do they get an at-large?
Yes.
I know. I think so too.
But they have had some bad losses. So like we
just don't have a signature win, which sucks. But like, man, undefeated
in the A-10.
Can we like start a narrative at least?
We could if they keep winning, I'll start the narrative. I can't start a narrative about Dayton yet.
I'm starting it.
You put the question. No, you put the question out there. That's fine.
Yep.
All right, that's a show. We will be back on Monday. But right now, I totally just didn't. That's not the show. There's another half-hour interview with the man, the absolute man, Coach Bruce Pearl of Auburn. All right, enjoy, guys. All right, welcome back to the Roundball podcast. We have a very special guest coming off a big win last night against Florida. We have Auburn's head coach, Bruce Pearl. Coach, how we doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
It's good. It's good to see you again. You were electric last year. One of my favorite coaches in college basketball. But new face, we got Hunter Dickinson on the other side. So, how's everything going, Coach? How's the season starting so far for you?
We've beaten some good teams. We're sitting right now 11-2, ranked 20th in the country, and I got nothing to complain about. But I'm going to go ahead and complain anyways because that's just my nature.
Love that.
Our kids have worked really hard. We had a great summer trip to Israel, which was just amazing in so many ways, on and off the court. I think the kids are our strength is our depth. And we're beginning to get a little cream that rises to the top. I think people, when they look at teams, they really think we as coaches know exactly what we have pretty quickly. And we really don't. And teams evolve. And so roles evolve. And so we're still trying to come together. Now, while you're coming together, you better win. Because while you're trying to come together, if you don't win, then all of a sudden the season's over and you're not going to be good enough to qualify for the tournament. So I'm pleased with our effort, but our execution and our understanding has still got a lot. They got to be a better coach than they are right now.
So we talk about that a lot too, where it's like, because Hunter obviously knows it. Like, you guys don't even really know what exact rotation is your best rotation right now, right? Like you think you do, but then it's like, all right, well, this guy's playing a little better. You're not your full entire team until like February, I almost feel like.
Part of it though is the inconsistency of play, and that's part of the problem, and that happens with young guys. And then you got to give them all an opportunity to see, again, the cream can rise to the top. Who your great player is going to be, who's good starting, who's good finishing, and then it's just sort of a feel as you go, through the year. Look, defense and rebounding win championships. That's got to be a constant. And right now, that's carrying the day for us. We're in the top 20 analytically, excuse me, in a lot of defensive categories. And that's a good thing. So the defense carries us while we kind of figure things out.
So now I want to ask you a question, because last year, Providence, right? Providence was like this team that everyone didn't really understand. Like, everyone keeps calling them lucky. Last year, you had the best player in the country, totally different team. But now this year, I keep fucking hearing it. I get upset for you. I keep hearing it like, oh, Auburn just lucky, wait for it. It's like, how are they just keep winning games? I don't understand how you're lucky when you win games. So how do you – I know you don't probably listen to shit in the media. You don't listen to it. You probably say, fuck you guys. I'll say it for you. Again, I could be that guy for you. If you ever need someone to tell me to shut the fuck up, I got you. But
listen, I appreciate that much. I don't listen to it, not because I don't respect it. I don't just have time. There's only so many hours in a day to do what I've got to do. And it's a grind. People could watch us and go, I'm not really sure they're that good. And that's okay. That's not a criticism. That would be an opinion. And it could be, look, the best teams we've beaten have been St. Louis and Northwestern, Florida, Washington on the road. And we lost 2 games at USC, who's a good team, not a great team. That one we could have gotten, and then we lost to Memphis on a neutral site. So I think the book's still out on us. I think it's okay for people to question how good we are. But we're not lucky to be 11-2. Like, in other words, to play the defense and rebound and block and do what we're doing defensively, you gotta have some effort. Kids are trying. Say that we're not very well coached yet. We're not getting good enough shots yet. That we could take better care of the basketball. Absolutely. And if and when we start doing those things, and if we keep guarding like we're guarding and rebounding like we're rebounding, now we got a chance to be pretty good. But we're definitely not there yet. Like, right now, we're ranked 20. We're not the 20th best team in the country right now. We're not. But we could be if we can get some of this shit together.
Yeah, Coach, you talk about having a team that's not fully complete yet. Can you touch on how difficult it is to lose guys like Smith, Kessler in the draft, and then trying to have to replace them? Because fan bases think, you lose like 2 or 3 guys to the draft, but you get a top 10, top 20 recruiting class coming in, a couple of transfers, and they just expect you guys to be the same team. Can you talk about how hard it is to replace NBA level talent guys?
Well, Hunter, I think the other thing too is all of your listeners got to remember these kids are 18, 19, 20, 21 years. They got to keep reminding themselves that. And then when you add the NIL stuff in and you say, look, they're getting paid as well as getting on scholarship, which gives them even more, gasoline to the fire for them to be, sort of critical again of the kids. I'd rather have them be critical of the coaches. Look, Jabari Smith was the best offensive player in college basketball last year. Walker Kessler was the best defensive player in college basketball, and we were the best team in the country for about a month. Unfortunately, that month wasn't March. It was January and early February. And you know what? It took some to get there. We just I don't want to say we peaked too soon, because we peaked when we were supposed to peak. We just leveled off a little bit and we didn't take full advantage of what we had a year ago in March. But you lose 2 dominant players who are both in the top 10 in the NBA right now as far as rookies are concerned. They're both having phenomenal years. Walker Kessler was 22nd. He is clearly one of the top 10 impact rookies in the NBA right now. And Jabari Smith's been as good as advertised, going 3. You take those 2 kids off, and there's no way you could expect us to be better. Janai Broome has come in as a transfer from Morehead State, and he has done a phenomenal job. He was one of the top 2 or 3 transfers on the market as a big guy. And my son, Stephen Pearl, took the lead on that recruitment. And we were able to say, look what happened to Walker Kessler. Didn't play a ton at North Carolina because they had great competition there. Comes to Auburn, and in a year, wow. And you know what? Guess what? Janai's come in, and he had some wow. I mean, Janai came in, and he outplayed Colin Castleton last night. I love Colin Castleton. He's a great kid and a really effective player. And so when I say this out of like great respect for Castleton, a first-team all-conference player. But last night, Janai outplayed him. That's significant for Auburn, significant for Janai. The rest of the league got to take notice. And so in some ways, we haven't replaced Walker, but Janai Broome is one of the better inside players in our league coming in as a grad transfer. At the other spots, we did bring in some really good freshmen. Really good freshmen have a hard time playing at the highest level of college basketball right now. Great freshmen can play, but really good freshmen in the Power 5 and the SEC, man, you look at every roster, man, everybody's old with the transfers. Man, it's really, I got 3 really good young freshmen in Trey Donaldson and Yohan Trehor and Chance Westry. All 3 of those guys, if they can be patient enough, are going to be dominating players in college basketball in a year or 2. They are. It's hard for them to be dominating players right now as freshmen. It just is. Times have changed with the transfer portal. And so, listen, I don't worry about expectations. You know what? Last night on StubHub, to get a ticket to that game, it was over $200 to get a ticket, a bad ticket. Over $200. Where in the country? Like where was that? You had UConn Villanova, and you could get in the XL for about $100 last night.
I love that. I love that. I want to ask, because I sometimes sound very stupid, but I need your help with this question. It's like whenever a team has like a Jabari Smith, right? Everyone knows that you're gonna go through Jabari Smith. So it's almost when I say this, I think I sound dumb, but I also kind of believe it. It's like when everyone knows you're going through Jabari Smith, it's a little easier kind of to defend. Where when you have a team like you have this year, it's like a complete team. It's like there's not one clear person that's going to take over a game. Someone could take over a different one. Does that help sometimes? Because it sounds stupid that when you have the best player in the country, it almost makes you – it doesn't make you worse, but it makes it almost more predictable.
I love your twisted way of thinking, and I love that you're willing to take credit for a dumbass question.
Yeah. Tell him it's just stupid, Coach.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Everybody knows KD's getting a shot. Everybody knows Giannis is going to get the shot. Everybody knows Luka's going to get the shot. Good luck. Good luck defending it. Just good luck. Yeah. So the answer is no. You'd rather be in that situation. They know what's coming. Just good luck stopping it. They're just gonna shove it right up your ass, and there's nothing you could do about it. And so I get what you're saying from a scouting standpoint. You never know who it's going to be, but it might not be anybody, and that's kind of scary. But look, for us, we've got it's about matchups now. So if I've got a matchup and I've got 4 or 5 guys on the floor, last night we went through Janai Broome. Can we go through Jalen Williams? Can we go late in the game? We went through Katie Johnson. You can always go through Wendell Green as my point guard. So it does make you prepare for everybody, but it's a lot, I'd say, easier if you know who your guy is going to be, night in and night out.
I love Wendell Green, by the way. I love the way he plays. I don't know. I just love the way he plays. But
he's a winner.
He really is.
And you know what? The thing about it is, Hunter was a big guy. And but he'll tell you as an athlete, little guys are tougher. Little guys got to be tougher. They just, to play in that game.
Is that true, Hunter? Is little guys tougher than you?
I mean,
we have this. So
I understand what he's saying. Little guys definitely have to be extra tough and to be able to play, especially in high Division I basketball. I feel like it's pretty tough.
Hunter, I want you to tell Coach to fuck off and be like, I'm not.
He's got a point. He's got a point. Like, if you're an undersized point guard, you have to be extra scrappy, extra gritty to be able to play, because that's just the nature of it. Like, you have to bring something to the table that a 6'2", 6'3" point guard isn't bringing. And so it's got to be that extra defensive grit, picking up 94 feet, stuff like that, to be able to get them on the floor. And
have a chip on your shoulder too, because you've always been overlooked. And you're right, size matters in jewelry and basketball. It matters in some things. And so we've always had really undersized guards, that have done well. And you're right. He can go by his man. We call him Logo Wen because he can make it from the logo. I've actually got to do a better job of getting him some looks, because listen, when he shoots it, it doesn't even matter if he shoots it and he's open. I think it's going in. And now he could do a better job. Wendell could do a better job facilitating. He could be a better playmaker for others. And that's something that we're working on. He needs it, as all point guards do, need to take some responsibility like his coach to get those guys better shots.
We have on this podcast, he's in the G League right now, Jordan Bohannon from Iowa last year, and Hunter's still playing at Michigan, obviously. So they argue every time, like, oh, a guard's harder to be than a big man, and then he's yelling at him about big man's harder to be a guard. It's out, honestly, almost every podcast I think we fight of what's harder to be, a big man or a guard.
I think there are more good guards than there are good bigs. And so,
that's cool.
And I think, that's why obviously, you take North Carolina last year, North Carolina kind of makes their run because their front line was just better than everybody's front line, late in the year. And that can be a great separator. And you know what? I hope it's a good separator for Auburn. I think our front line with Dylan Carwell and Janai, Broome and Jalen Williams and Yohan Traylor, I think our front line is really good. And we're going to continue to go through that front line and continue to be we got to be elite defensively and elite rebounding while we're working on some of those other things. How about the league? I mean, how about like right now, everybody recognized it was going to be Tennessee and Alabama, and neither one of those teams have disappointed. Those two teams are Final Four good. All right. Arkansas, they got 4 or 5 guys on the draft boards right now. Like right now, they got 4 or 5 players that are in the draft next year. All right. Kentucky has been disappointing, but that's just because they're young and talented and still trying to figure some things out. Everybody had those 4 teams. They had probably us next, and we're 11-2 and ranked 20th. Mississippi State's ranked 6th, is ranked in the top 20. We had 6 SEC teams. How about Missouri? How about LSU? How about Mississippi State? You got those 3 teams that, nobody had those teams up there right now. And they're, Arkansas loses to LSU. Missouri beats Kentucky. I mean, the SEC is going to be an absolute rock fight.
I 1,000%. I say it I think the SEC is the best college basketball conference in the country right now. I think it's the SEC, and then like Big 12, Big 10 could come after that. But I think it's SEC because it's not even that it's deep. It's like even the top is like it Final Four top, and anyone can beat anyone on any night. But like the fact that Missouri and Mississippi State we're talking about is usually not something we're talking about in college basketball. So I think the SEC is the best conference to be in right now, and that's where like you have a bad loss, you can win any of those games and get right back on track.
No, I think you can't get too high with the winning and you can't get too low with the losing at some point. It's just it'll be about matchups. Interesting. People don't talk about matchups enough. Boy, they make a huge difference. I don't understand it, but some coaches, what we do really works against some people, and what we do doesn't work against some people. And it's that's going to be interesting. So keeping your locker room. I think keeping your locker room, we're gonna beat each other up pretty good. I think this year, but I think right now it looks to me like Tennessee and Alabama got an edge on everybody.
Yeah, they look very, very good.
Yeah.
I got to ask you one thing personally. You didn't play any high school basketball?
I had a career knee injury when I was 15 years old, and prior to being 15 years old, I know it sounds silly, but at my age, I was good an athlete as there was in town. I batted fourth. I started every game. I was the first kid picked on the playground. But I tell you what, I wasn't. As a freshman, I was playing. I was going to be a starter as a sophomore in varsity sports of everything, and I got hurt my freshman year. And I honestly think it was God sent. I think God had a plan for me. And I wasn't a great teammate. I don't think I was the nicest kid. And I tell you what, God just cut my ass down to size. And he said, there's going to be more to you than just your ability to, win in sports and everything. It humbled me. It crippled me. And, I wanted to play in my senior year baseball. We won a league championship. I had a really good senior year, but I was never the quarterback that I was supposed to be. I was never the point guard that I was supposed to be. I would go to Boston College. I walk on at BC. I get cut, and Dr. Tom Davis gives me an opportunity to stick around as a manager. And so for 4 years, I managed, I practiced, I refereed, I worked his camps. And then when I was a senior at Boston College, he got the Stanford job. And I was just one of those guys that had worked for him for 4 years doing everything.
Yeah.
And he asked me to get on a plane with him the next day. I was 21 years old. I hadn't even graduated from BC. But he felt like I was valuable enough to him to want me to go out there and join him and help him bring that culture and character out to Stanford. It just is a lesson, no matter where you are in your organization. No job too small, no job too big. Make yourself valuable. And I didn't do those things because I thought I was ever going to get into coaching. I did those things because that's what I was doing at that time.
Yeah.
So, yep. No, I did not have a college athletic career.
I love that. That just shows that you don't need, you just learn the game any other way. That's also just right place, right time, and everything worked out for you.
You got to be willing to compete. Even though there was things I couldn't do physically, and then honestly, I just I think God's blessed me in ways beyond what I deserve, and it's maybe because of my trust and my faith in Him.
Yeah. I have 2 more questions. Hunter, you got anything?
Yeah, I got one more.
Go.
Coach, so one thing that I think a lot of coaches are dealing with now with the transfer portal is kind of trying to figure out what's more important, get the grad transfers who are more college ready and able to produce right away, or trying to get these freshmen that, will be good, like either pretty good their freshman year or blossom into something really good. How do you weigh the transfer portal versus recruiting freshmen?
Hunter, that's a great question. You got a future in this, right? When you're done playing professionally.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of yours, and I have been for a long time. I think a combination, and I don't think we have the answer. I can tell you right now, you can get too young. I think that there's a big difference between an 18-year-old and a 22-year-old. and the 22-year-old, 23-year-old, they're grown men. And so when you do take those young freshmen, you got to take the ones that are physically more ready if you want to have them play early, because it's a man's game. Like the NBA, no boys allowed. It's sort of true at our level. So I still believe in a blend. I think the other thing when it comes to transfers is you got to take great transfers. Don't take good transfers. Take good high school players that want to grow and develop. Be honest with them in recruiting. If they want to be one and done and it's going to take them 2 or 3 years, tell them. And I've lost kids that didn't come to me as freshmen because I told them that. But I think they're better off. They need to hear the truth. I won't lie to them in recruiting. I just won't. I'm going to tell them the truth. I may not be right, but I'm going to tell them what I really think. But when it comes to a transfer, you better play that transfer, and you better have that role for that plan. So don't lie to that kid just because you need him as your 9th or 10th or 11th guy. You got to build your depth. You're fighting for your job. That's not fair. But so I do think the combination, and I don't know. I mean, at the end of every season now at NIL, you got to re-recruit your roster. I think kids are going to be less patient. And that's a problem because, patience is putting the work, putting the time. And then will you be ready when your opportunity presents itself? There were times that, you may have been put out there at a younger age when you weren't as ready as you are now because you put in the work.
Has NIL messed with you? Has it been hard to adjust to because these kids are like, oh, I can get this amount of money somewhere else. And it's like, okay, well, you can probably play more here or have a better time. I feel like these kids are more inclined to I can make this amount of money instead of this might be the right place for me,
Yeah. But it's a part of the equation now, and it's okay. Look, I'm glad that the kids are going to be able to leave here with a little bit of money in their pocket and be able to start a business or, be able to do something, for their families. They can get started because everybody else is making so much money in the college game. I think overall it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We've tried to spread it out. I think it's spread out amongst our roster. All our kids are working it, and I think it's a really good thing. It is a factor in recruiting, and the teams that were out in front of it early, and there were several that are out in front of it early. They all reap the rewards pretty quickly. I think the rest of us are kind of catching up a little bit. And so, I think we all got to invest in our student athletes like we invest in our coaches and our programs. So it's one factor. Look, for me at Auburn, it used to be winning championships, developing, going into the NBA, being on a campus like Auburn where we learn to love our neighbor, we love our country, we love our God. We're not jealous of another man's success. We got a great culture. I got a fabulous staff. You can come and develop. But if we can't also deliver in the NIL space, you got to do it. You got to be able to do it all.
Yep, you got to adjust. So I know how much this trip meant to you, but how was the team trip to Israel?
Well, it was amazing. Guys, obviously I've talked about God a few times on this, and as I get older, I seem to do it more and more. It's like if you go to church or if you read the Bible, there are certain things that you have to have this blind faith about how you look at it. But it is a history book. It did happen. Now, whether you believe it was God sent or not, facts are facts. And so you go to Israel, it's where Jesus walked. It's where he lived. It's where he trained. It's where he taught. You got to make your own choice about the divinity of that and what kind of power that you believe in that and the miracles and all the different things. I happen to believe it. And so it helps going there and seeing it with your own eyes and recognizing this is where it got started. And then the other thing that's so cool about Israel is, the fact that the Jews have come from all over the world and returned back to their homeland. It's a wonderful thing. It's a prosperous country. It's unfortunate that there are so many lies and so much misinformation regarding Israel. A lot of it's due to the anti-Semitism that's just very rampant and prevalent right now. Go see for yourself, and you will see the land of milk and honey in many ways. So our guys got it. They enjoyed the trip. And Israel is probably, number 2 and number 3 in the world as a place to go play pro. Obviously, United States number 1 NBA. I'm telling you, Israel is right there with Spain or, a couple of those countries. They pay good. The fans love it. And it's a wonderful place to live.
That's awesome because I remember talking to you last year about everything, and just like it's so cool that you got to go there. So that's awesome. All right, last question. I've obviously have seen you in the stands in football games with Cam Newton, your shirt off, all that. If you won, I think you got to coach one game with no shirt on, and 2, if you can't, I can go. I'll go to Auburn. And I will sit there next to you, make sure I'll have my shirt off, and I'll do all Bruce Pearl on my chest if you want.
Marty, listen, man. It's the incredible bulk right now. It's not looking good. My knees have been.
I've heard that. I like that.
I've gained some weight. It's just not a good look right now. And as you get a little older, it's a little harder to get. My give a shit factor is not as high as it used to be. This is what it looks like. It's not very pretty. So listen, my wife has told me America has seen quite enough of that, and so it's not going to happen ever again.
The diet starts in the first, man. The diet starts in the first. So.
Yeah, it's winter right now. Diet ain't. It's not happening yet. All right, Coach.
I love to eat, and I need to do a better job with that, Hunter, for sure. So. Man, great! It's been great with you guys, Hunter. Good luck to you guys. What do you think about the Big Ten?
It's going to be another challenging year. I think this year most of the teams are pretty similar, and the Big Ten's really congested right now. I don't think it's like, or I think it's like you in a sense where everybody's really good, and so
yeah,
it'll be a bloodbath like normal.
We played Northwestern earlier in the year, and they were old and they were tough and they were physical. That big kid that left and went to North Carolina, if he was still there. Northwestern could be. They're good. They're not deep, and they don't score great. But oh my God, they guard, and they already went up to Michigan State and beat them up there. I know you kind of like that, didn't you?
It was nice to see that.
Hunter,
I might have to ask you for your scout, Coach. We might have to see what worked for you guys.
We just kind of build a wall. Just try to build a wall, make them beat you from 3, not 2.
For sure.
A lot of people online love that Hunter's like. Because he'll just talk about whatever he's feeling. And that's what I love about the NIL and just like kids actually instead of because I'm thinking I'm 28, I'm yelling at the TV like a fucking maniac and I'm like, oh, these kids are 18. But now that I think we can give them like a personality and put it behind it, I love that part of the media because like we're not media, obviously. I'm just a moron that I just talk about whatever I want, and Hunter gets to be himself. So
but you're a very successful moron at what you're doing. And this is awesome. And like I said, my kids think I'm a rock star because I'm on with you guys. And I do think people care, just like you've got me on. There's some people that are interested in what my thoughts are, opinions are. Same thing with the student athletes. To get that out of them and hear what they're thinking, it makes them more real. And also, I think, Hunter, by doing this, you're building your own brand, which I think is really, really good. And that's one of the things I like about the NIL. And coaches have always gotten way too much credit. We've probably gotten a little bit too much of the blame, which is fine. We can handle it. We're big boys. But the players don't get enough of either. So I'm glad to see that.
Actually, last question: does finals week affect the play of these players?
Yeah, I mean, especially
I always feel like there's some crazy shit happening when they have like off for 10 days because they're going to finals and I say it's rust. People say it's rest. I think it's rust. Yeah. And I always say during this week, it's always been like the craziest games.
Yeah, I agree with you about the rust versus the rest. The rest is good sometimes, but too much rest creates the rust. Yeah. Movement is medicine. And I tell you what, these guys like getting a routine of a couple games a week. It can be a grind after 2 games a week for a long period of time. But sometimes you get in finals week and you got 1 game and then you don't play for 9 days.
Yep.
And then, look, they're human and it does. That's you do see some of those upsets. But right now, it's after this new year, it's a grind. Yep. It is a grind. And you can't let the highs get too high, the lows get too low. You got to be excited about playing every night. The key is to be excited about playing every night.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, because
matter who
Hunter,
you're
you had
playing.
off for quite some time.
What's that?
Hunter's had off for what? You've had off like 10 days now, right?
Yeah, or I think it's been 7, but yeah, no, that
It's still a lot.
like Coach said, getting in that routine of like 3 games a week. Yeah, I do prefer that over
Yeah.
one game every like 5 days.
Yep. Yep.
All right, Coach. Well,
That's just going to get you ready for the NBA.
Exactly.
You're having a great year, man. Keep it going.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck to you
thank you
guys.
for coming on. You're always the best. I appreciate you always making time for us. And I'm
Always.
again gonna invite myself to Auburn. I'm gonna come soon. I'm gonna come, and I am gonna whatever you want me to do. You put me to work when I go. Okay?
I promise you. You need to come to an Iron Bowl. Honestly, you need to come to an Iron Bowl.
Oh man.
Okay.
Right? It's like Michigan. It's like Michigan, Ohio State, and Auburn, Alabama. I think those are not to. There are other great rivals. I think those two are as good as it gets. So
I'll take you up on that offer too, Coach. I'll take you up on that one too.
All right, where's
All
guest
right.
Hunter? We just invited ourselves, so we took up our own offer, but I'm in. All right, Coach.
Sounds
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks,
ya.
Coach. Appreciate it.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You too.